Hello, this is Chad Smith with BC Gurus. This is going to be the second video within the social media video series. We're going to be focusing on the blogs. So our first step here when creating a new blog is to create the blog. So we're going to go over on how to add a new blog. We're going to add a new blog post, and then we're going to kind of view the URL that's given to you and how to change that. So let's go ahead and get to the example site. So within the back end of Business Catalyst, we're going to go to the Modules tab. We're going to click on the blogs. Now we want to add a new one. And from here we have some options to customize our blog. And you can see here we have an import post link at the top. Now since we don't have any blogs to import to, this link doesn't really work right now. It'll take you to another page, but there's nothing to do there because we don't have a blog. So let's start by adding a blog. We'll call it News. Go ahead and use the default template. On my title, we're going to call it News and Events. And then give it a short little blog description. Then we have an enabled or disabled feature here so that you can still preview the blog, but it won't be live on the site, so users cannot view it. We have a release and expiry date, so if we want to release this blog in the near future or make it disappear in the near future, once the expiry date expires, it will not be enabled anymore. We also have waiting. That's going to help us when we display more or a list of all blogs currently on a website. We can weight the titles of those blogs so that some show up higher than others. And then we got the syndicate blog to RSS. This is going to allow us to create the RSS channel for our blog, and we can turn that on or off to our pleasure. So we'll go ahead and click next. That's going to successfully save our current details, and from here we can do a new post, import your post. We can import from WordPress or TypePad, and we'll go over that a little bit more later in this video. And then for more actions, we can add this blog to a web page, to a menu, set our blog as the start page, make it into a secure zone, classify the blog, or view the blog usage reports. So let's go ahead and create a new post and give the post a name, and then 1 second we'll give it some actual content. Paste that in. So now we have our nice little blog name with our post. Now here's where the URL is. You can see we have _blog/news/post/ this is the blog post name. We can edit how our name looks so it's not as long if we want to just chop it down to blog post name. Other options we have are release dates for this post, so we can make sure our posts are complete before they're actually released to the blog. Some categories, and these are created through the site settings categories section so that you can categorize our blog posts. We also have tags, so we can tag blog posts, and then we can use that to output our blogs later. We can decide what blog this post is going to be about. So if we had more blogs other than our news blog, we can say I want this to actually be on our different blog, and we can control the author for our blog. And since I'm the only admin in this web page, I'm the only author allowed to make blog posts. A little further down here we have comments. This is going to use the BC comments module, and you can enable or disable comments depending on if you want to use them or not. So we can either preview our blog post, save it as a draft, or save it and publish to the website. So after we save it successfully, let's go ahead and preview. So this is our new blog. So our blog title, blog description, and then this will be the first blog post name or blog post title, and then of course the blog post. Now, by default we'll have the author and the date the blog was published. and then you get your recent post, tags, and archives. So if we went back to our blog and we wanted to tag it as featured, we can add that, save it and publish it, go back to our preview, and now we have some tags to work with as well. So now that we have our blog created and a new blog post posted, let's go ahead and take a look at the layout options available. So we'll go over how to customize those layouts, each for your blog posts and then your comment and tracking or trackback layouts. We'll look at the tags available for each of those and then how to change up your blog. So let's go back to our example page, and from now on when you're clicking to your blog, if we went back to the dashboard and then back to our new blog, it's going to take us to the blog posts. Now if we had two blogs, it'll give us a list of those blogs and we can view the posts for either one or whichever we were trying to edit. So kind of a nice feature that since we just have one blog, we don't need to click from the blog details of the blog posts. BC automatically takes you to the post list. So to work on the layouts, we're going to go to the Site Manager and the module templates. From here, most of your module layouts are going to be where you're going to edit them. So we'll go to the blog layouts. Then from here we can change whatever layout we want. Now I will start with one little, I guess, pitfall or area to look out for. I sort of lied to you earlier when I said our blog just shows right up. If I go to this overall blog layout and click on the restore to default and hit OK and then refresh my page, my post disappears. Now this is going to happen when your CSS has a clear fix in it. Now I'm using a responsive grid layout called Skeleton, and it has a clear fix. A clear fix is when you have some floated elements within a container. Those floated elements are going to be taken out of the document flow, so the container is not going to know what height those floated elements are. So one trick is to use a clear fix, which will help make that container understand the height of those floated elements. The problem is it has a, if we find our wrapper here with the class clear, it gives it a visibility of hidden. So everything that has the class clear will be hidden from view. So in our example, it's actually hiding our blog post for us. So one thing to look out for if you're going to use a grid layout or any kind of CSS like this, that we're going to have to get rid of that class clear from the wrapper, and then our blog post will be visible again. So from that overall blog layout in the back end, if we go to the HTML view, we can see here the wrapper has a class clear. Get rid of that, and then our problems will be no more. Now within the overall blog layouts here, each of these layouts are going to have a series of tags available for each layout. There will be some tags that will span all layouts, and then some tags that will just work in each certain layout. So if we look at the overall blog layout again, look at the tag insert list here. We have the tag blog calendar, which is the calendar to retrieve your blog post by date. That's just going to be one that's particular to the overall layout. And you can see like the title or the tag next page and pagination. These are going to be tags that will only work on the overall layout, not on the list or details layout. So go ahead and we'll search through this just to get an idea of what each layout has to offer. One to make note of for the list layout in particular would be the item URL. This tag is going to help with adding social media like Facebook or Twitter links to your list and details view. This will give you the item URL link of the blog post instead of the blog itself. So if we're looking here and we go back to the list view, it'll grab this URL instead of this URL. So when you have a like button on your blog and you have a list of blog posts and you click that like button and it likes all the posts, probably the number one reason that's going to happen is that it's liking this URL, not this URL. So that tag item URL, use the one with host. That way the whole absolute path is going to be used. So you'll get the HTTP / blah blah blah, and then you have the item URL excuse me, the item URL without the host. So that's just going to be the /_blog/news. So I would suggest using the with host when using it with social media, and then that'll allow you to use it within the list view. So, and then if we go back to our layouts, we got our comment and trackback layouts. Now the comment list layout is only going to be for the comments made. So if we go back in here, you see we have a form and then no comments posted. So if we come in here and I'll fill this out. Alright, and then hit submit. Thank you for your submission. Go back to our blog and refresh it. Now I don't have a comment on here, and that is going to be because it has to be approved before we see it on our blog. So if we go back to our modules and our comments, you can see here's my comment here. Go ahead and edit my comment. Here we can give it a rating, change the website, change the feedback if you want, but basically you want to make it approved. So then you hit approve, we'll update that, and now on our blog we have the name I used and the comment. So if we go back to our module templates, blog layouts, that comment list layout is just going to be for the comment itself. If you wanted to change the way the form looks, that's going to be within the detail layout. Go back here really quick. So you'd have to edit this form here, change this form. The blog listing layout is for when you have more than one blog. It'll just give the blog name, and then if you want it to have the blog description, you can add that through here. But for now it's just going to give you the total post and the last post date for that blog, and you would just get a list of those blogs, and we'll look at that in a little bit. Now, along with adding the blog author to the list or details view, we can also add author images and author bios that we can add to our list and layout options. So going back to our example site, if we go here. Now, you can't change everybody's author bio or pick, but you can change yours. So if you want everybody to have their own pick and bio, go ahead and just tell them to follow these example steps. So under my name here on top, I'm going to go to my details, and then this lets me edit my image and my bio. So if I want to change my picture, we'll go into my file folder here. Lovely. And then add that to this, click on the save button, and then that's successfully saved. So if we go back to our site manager and module templates, and within the blog layout, first we'll go to the list layout, and maybe instead of the tag blog author, we'll go in and add the blog author picture. We'll save that and give it a refresh. So now we have a picture of me and then the date the blog was posted. Now within the list layout, I can't do anything about the blog or the author bio. We can give the picture a URL, and if we go ahead and change that up, you can see we save that and refresh. That just gives us the path to our image. So that comes up in handy, or comes handy if you want to add that just to an image tag, and then you can style it with CSS or add classes to the image tag. But if we go over to our blog layouts and our details layout, not only can I change my blog post author to the picture, I can go underneath my blog post and add my blog or my author biography. Save that, go inside my blog, got my picture here, and then underneath we have my bio. So you might want to style that differently so it makes sense for the blog, but that's how you're going to add those functionalities to your layouts. Alright, so now that we've gone through and created our new blog, added some posts, and took a look at the layouts and how to add the author, bio, and pick, the last thing we need to look at is how we're going to display our blog on certain pages. So now we do have the URL for our blog that will show the posts and the detail view. So to display your blog on other pages, we can do it in a few different ways. So we can do it as a display of the list of blogs. So I went through and created a few more blogs so we can see how that will look. We're going to display the list. We're going to display the latest post across a specific blog. Then we can display the latest post across all blogs. Display all the tags for a specific blog, or display the latest blog posts through a specific or all blogs using the list format. So if we go back to our example site, alright, so we got a test page working here. We're calling it displaying blogs, and we added modules to the web page. Open up our blogs tab here under the module manager, and now for each specific tag I'm going to output it all on one page so we can just kind of see what each tag is doing. So to display a list of the blogs, we're going to grab this guy here. You can select category, classification, an individual blog, or all blogs. We'll just grab all of them here. Insert that one. The latest post across specific or all blogs. Go back. Grab this one. Again, we can choose which blog to display items on, or we can just choose all of them. I'm just going to choose the Jeeps blog for that one. Now the next one is going to display all of the posts across all of the blogs. So kind of similar to this one, this is going to do the exact same thing but just for all blogs. And then this one here, you can also filter by tag. So if you have a certain tag you want to display from the Jeeps blog, like you just want to do, something about four-wheel trails, you can just tag those blog posts and then display them together on a page. But this one is going to just be an insert button, because all we're doing is seeing all the site posts. Now again, if we were working with tags a lot and we had a few different tags for our blogs, we can use the display all tags for a specific blog. So maybe like a sidebar item or something, you can just add any blog you want. It'll show you a preview of the tags available for that blog, and you can just insert that on the page. And then the last one is going to display the latest post across specific or all blogs in a list format. So if we go back to our blogs tab and select the last one. Now this tag is good for showing the latest post of a blog on like a home page or on the sidebar. So we'll just grab all items because we only have 3 posts anyways. But as you can see, we get an item and then the author and date. So we'll insert that. So we got all those working. We're going to publish our page and we'll preview it. So display list of blogs, and this is one of the layouts we can change. We can add description, blog descriptions, and other elements to these list views here. The latest post across specific or all blogs, we chose to show the latest post on the Jeep blog, so that's all we're going to see on this one. And it'll just show the latest one. So if I went to create a new blog post under the Jeep blog, I wouldn't have two blogs here, I would just have the latest one shown. Now this is going to show the latest post across all blogs, so if I did update my Jeep blog, this one would be on top, or the new one would be on top, and this one would be disappeared, or not shown, if you will. Displaying all tags for your blog, so my Olympics blog just had one tag for Olympics. And then to display the latest post in the list format, puts it into an ordered list so you get the numbers, and then using CSS you can hide the author, or take the numbers out and just have a nice list of links for your latest posts. So that covers all the list views you can do within your blog on your site. And the last thing we can talk about for our blog section here is how to import blog posts. So if you are transferring a client from WordPress or Typepad, you can import the blog posts into Business Catalyst. Go to our example site here, and we'll go back to our blog. We'll go to the Jeeps blog, get rid of our module manager. From here we can hit import posts. So WordPress, I know, does have a feature where you can export all the posts, and then they'll give you a file that you can come into here and then import that file into Business Catalyst. A couple problems with that would be the images. As far as the path of the image files, you need to make sure they match up and are not absolute links, because they might not match up with the same on the new site. And also the author will not transfer, even if the author is in the back end of the admin on the BC site. When I did this for our pro users on BC Gurus, I did not have much success on getting anything over except for the actual blog text. So, but that at least helps you get that over, and then you'd have to edit from then on. So that's the import and blog section for Business Catalyst. Hope you enjoyed the video.